Hi everyone. So I am Shin Imai from Japan. I will give a presentation the difference and similarity between Japanese indie game and other East Asian countries. The title is a little different from the web. I don't have enough time to prepare this presentation. So and yesterday, Katagiri-san shows a comparison between Japan and Korea. So I will focus East Asian country from expanded perspective, but very roughly. It's my profile. So my name is Shin Imai again. So I am the deputy chief editor of IGN Japan. IGN Japan launched in 2017 as Japanese edition of IGN. I have run aesthetics and popular music study at University Tokyo. Also have contributed articles to gaming media at the same time. And I have an experience of gaming publisher a little bit. I worked for Dejika, a Japanese company of payment service and game publisher with strong connection of Valve of Steam. Thank you. So I like indie games and also classic Japanese arcade games. Especially I like shmups. So for example, Ikaruga or some caves, bullet hell type. So I am very happy and feel honored by the invitation to this event. So, but my English is very poor, so I may not be able to tell this story. So if you don't understand my story, please feel like to ask anything after this presentation. So I am also not sure if I can use the proper words. Thank you in advance to your patience. Hi, intro, study of Japanese indie scene. So before getting down to the main topic, I will explain the Japanese indie game scene. I made a presentation about this topic at an international conference on the game studies. So I would like to summarize this presentation for introduce Japanese indie game scene to you. First, the growing indie game scene seem to be caused by some technology evolution. It is widely accepted online platforms such as Steam or App Store or Google Play, and game engine like Unity and Unreal are the key of growing indie scene. It is the same in Japan, so we can publish game on Steam and Icho, also how pronunciation, I don't know in Western. We pronounce Icho. Icho. So the later Icho is not localized perfectly, but you can use it in Japan. And Unity and Unreal are very, very popular gaming engine in Japan. So with respect to community award media, we have a Beat Summit and Comicate and TGS for indie booth. So as an online community, so we have many community and awards and event like such this event. So then how is Japan different from the West regarding indie game? I think Japanese indie games are not monolithic. They have at least 3 roots in Japanese game history. First, doujin. Do you know doujin? Doujin are the oldest culture of independent game development in Japan. These doujin people have developed many kinds of games by home computer before Windows era. Most developers of doujin games are hobbyists, not for business. But some doujin developers are now professional, and impact on Japanese game industry. So second root, there are free game community. So these games are distributed only online and made by amateur, only for their fun and not for profit. They make games by RPG Maker, so famous tool, RPG Maker, or some gaming development tool for hobbyists. Upload their works on online portal site for such game. Their games are generally for free, so called as free games. But some popular games such as Cave Story, do you know Cave Story? And Humanic, and something like a very famous free game were commercialized by publisher. Finally, there are some developers who participants in indie games. Most of them originally worked on outsourced projects. For example, a company like Int Creates used to do such a project, and then they started to publish their own works, such as Gunbolt. And Nigoro was originally a hobbyist team, but they made Ramrana as a commercial project. At the same time, meanwhile, Mopping made a Downwell when he was in college. That became a global hit. Basically, they do not belong to Dojin or free games community. That is, people knowing about Western indie game try to participate in global indie game community directly. So, for example, I'll show some Dojin game. So very famous one, Toho Project. Toho Project is a very famous franchise. So it's a bullet hell type shoot 'em up. So yeah, girl is a protagonist. So this series is maybe 20 years long. So now the creator is a one-man developer. So Zun is a very famous one indie creator in Japan. Okay. Next one is a free game. Free game is made by RPG Maker. RPG Maker is a Japanese gaming tool, very easy to construct a game. But maybe many creators made an adventure game, not RPG. Because of RPG is a very difficult to make. Adventure game is a focus on story. So this title is Eve. It's a horror adventure game. So it's a big hit in Japan. It's a English trailer. So people use pixel art, so roughly, but very characteristic. So now this game available in Steam. Last one is something same indie game in Western. So Downwell is a very popular in Japan and global. So now released on Switch. It's a very monochrome style art and shoot the downwell. So very hardcore. So he is a student. He was student developing this game. Finished the game, so he joined Nintendo, but now leave Nintendo. So now he made next project maybe. So this game is published by Devolver Digital. It's only one one Japanese game by Devolver Digital. Now, what is the problem with these three indie games, Shin? I think it is a reason for Japanese indie games have less presence in the market, in the global market. So very complex is you can understand what is indie games in Japan. So it is certain that Japanese indie games are growing now, but many developers troubled by their smaller presence. That is, their games draw no attention from domestic and global fans. This video is a trailer of the documentary film on Japanese indies. Please watch this. So it's called the Branching Path. So you can see their anxieties for less presence.
インディースとして生活するのは可能だと思ってます。だって海外行って実際にインディーで生活している人がいるんで、日本でできない理由はないなと思っています。
僕はそもそもずっとフリーランスでね仕事をしてたし、大きな会社で仕事をする時も割とこう独立した自分という状態を維持しようということがあったんだけど、いろいろ大きい会社で何歳ですよ。特に今ゲームで個体というかお店に並べて売るっていうのではなくて、ネット会社とかスチームのマーケットとかに並べて売るっていうのが主体になっているので、ゲームを作るほとんどそういうやり取りが重要じゃないと思っていて、ある時本当に日常で一人ぼっちでゲームを作ったりとかだって別にそれとか関係なしにこの世で世界中の人が集めるわけじゃないただいい作品を作れさえすればそれは絶対人が使えると思っててで世界から考えます
So it's a K-pop artist. So he is a foreigner, but he lives in Japan, Tokyo. So this documentary focuses on Japanese developer, but many developers in foreigners, so outside, from outside in Japan. So in Japan, so many foreigners work for the game company. So they make their own games for indie developer. Okay. So what is presence? So first, different creations and culture Japanese indie game fragmentation. Some have fragmentation. There is no one big community of indie games. So very many community, but it's very small. So and the fans are users belong to each scene. So the fan of free game scene, so they like free game, don't like doujin or indie. So fan of doujin game, so like the doujin game, but don't know about the indie game. So in addition to that, the PC game market is very smaller than other countries. As a result, each Japanese indie scene are far smaller. So, however, I don't get pessimistic because we have a very good developer in Japan and the market is changing. It is difficult to Japanese to win the attention from the Western, but we can appeal to other East Asia countries, the most growing regions in the gaming market. So it's a very good, very big market. So we can appeal to this market. Yeah. The next section. So comparison among East Asia. So gaming in East Asia is a very important now. So very big expansion. So I will give an outline of East Asia gaming market in the beginning. East Asia consists of Japan, South Korea, North Korea, China including Hong Kong and Macau, and Taiwan. So the Asia Pacific video game market has a 15% share in the world, so half of global market. So very big. So it is the biggest market in the world. So then East Asia market shares a rank. Number 1 is China. So number 2 is Japan. Number 3 is South Korea. Number 4 is other or Taiwan. so include Taiwan, and so on. So the important point is that Asia is the biggest video game market in the world, and East Asia accounts a major portion of it, and it's still growing. So first, Korea, South Korea. I show some facts referring to new zoo data. So now South Korea is the fourth in the world for market. Console games are very niche, but PC and mobile dominates the market. So the reason is that popular consoles was not imported into Korea, so and the domestic console was very, very niche. So instead of that, internet cafe called PC Bang. PC Bang is a Korean people like a PC Bang, so plays PC games, PC internet cafe, so and plays League of Legends and something competitive esports game. So very popular in Korea. So and also Korea government invests in internet infrastructure strongly. So they use networking game. They can play so very high speed network. Then esports is very popular too. The top player and the top team of League of Legends are almost Korean. By this PC-centric gaming culture, Korean games like MMORPG or MOBA, so and something like battle royale games. So people like use a mouse and keyboard. So their de facto standard is a mouse and keyboard. So rather than game pads. So and I find that they really like roguelike game. Especially Enter the Gungeon, it's published by Devolver Digital indie game, so very, very popular in Korea. So I very surprised. So I hear Devolver Digital guys. So Korea is the best sales place Enter the Gungeon. And so many Korean indie developers make a game featuring roguelike element. Something like a random generated, something like a permadeath, something like some random selection. So they like the roguelike element. So Korean indie scene is still young. There are many developers who make small games. So they make usually 2D pixel art game, so not 3D. So but they haven't become successful yet. So as their console market is weak and the online PC market is dominated by big companies, so indie developer needs to sell their game outside Korea, so Japan or China or Taiwan or Western. So they make a good game and sales outside Korea. So Japan is a very important market for them. So it's close and geographically, and the people have a similar taste. It's an example of Korea indie. 6180 The Moon. It's a very minimalistic game. So Turtle Cream, the developer Turtle Cream, is a veteran developer in Korea. So they made some minimalistic game. So this game is a platformer, so very simple but very difficult. So presentation is so minimal. So but our experience was very beautiful sound, beautiful presentation. So they are veteran developer in Korea. So and also a leader of Korea Indie. The organizer of the event, they are organizer of the event Out of Index. Out of Index is a very focused on experimental game, artistic game. Second one, it's a funny game, Rube Maker. So it's a no trailer, so I checked the Steam page. So, do you know Rubu? Rubu is the most powerful warrior in the Romance of Three Kingdoms. The Romance of Three Kingdoms is a very famous, popular East Asia romance. It's something like a strategy, historical, political romance. So, but this game is very funny. So Rubu is the most powerful warrior. But this game, Rubu is a girl. So training Rubu. So be a good wife. So it's a so skip. Oh no, skip. Okay. So she is Rubu. So this game mixes the Japanese traditional shim genre, so called by Princess Maker. Princess Maker is training the girls for becomes good princess. So this game is Japanese traditional style shim Prince Maker with the Romance of Three Kingdoms. So it's a very funny setting. So it's a very HD idea. So but this appeal to Japanese users strongly. So we laughing idea. So but a game is a very good elaborated. So next one is a Remiroa. It's developed by Pixelroa. This is not yet released. Release is near the future. So Remiroa is a new game. It's by Pixelroa. They are veteran developer in South Korea. So in this time, they focus on Japanese market by this game. So featuring anime style character design and a Japanese voice actor. So game is something like a roguelike hack and slash game. So very good game. So I think it is the first indie game focusing Japanese market. Okay, this is a Korean indies. Next, China Shin. China is the #1 top ranked. China is a top ranked market global. It is a very big market, but there are many trouble. So if you want to release your game in mainland China, you should be approved by the government. So this process is very unclear. So it is difficult to release game in mainland China. Strangely enough, Chinese government overlooks Steam. So China people can buy the Western game and the Chinese game on Steam. It is not approved by the government. So that is, you can sell your games for the Chinese gamers on Steam, but it is not officially approved. So you can understand when the government ban your game. Right. So, however, we don't know how long this situation will last. So, on the other hand, console games are also niche. PC and mobile dominates the market. But mainland Chinese are familiar with some console by pirates one or licensed one. So they know Nintendo game by the pirates console. So something like called by How. So yeah, they like Nintendo game, pirates copy or pirates console. So they are more familiar with console than Korean people. And also esports is very popular. So especially there are fanatic mobile gamers in China. So Oja Eiko, the King of Glory in English, is a very famous one. So very big population. So this is a mobile. It is a huge user and sales. The Chinese government is negative, but the Chinese government is negative about it. So long gameplay. So they think long gameplay is heavily regulated. So, and Chinese indie developers are in this high pressure situation. They had to sell their game outside. This video is a trailer of documentary film about Chinese indies. Please watch this. It's called Indie Game of China. So, original title is a Dokko. It's something like independent. So this documentary you can buy on Steam.
家里是反对的，自己做游戏，这样能更自由地创造自己喜欢玩的游戏。
这些玩家他需要我们把这个游戏做出来。
实际上我们已经破产，处于一种已经死去、正在复活的一个状态。
我根本就停唔到，40歲，然後咧，
做獨遊戲這件事情到底意味着什麼？
我係揾到咗一樣自己好中意嘅，好想做。
獨立遊戲就是獨立團隊完成的遊戲，不會以商業利益為第一考量。
So Chinese industry supports indie developer and the other industry. For example, PlayStation supports Chinese indie. So, but Chinese government is negative for video game industry. So very complex situation in China. So China is a very big market. But government is not positive for this. So last thing, so just Chinese especially loves this specific subgenre in this game. So this subgenre is what we Japanese call Bukyo. Bukyo in Chinese, wuxia. Wuxia is something like universe inspired by Chinese traditional fantasy stories and historical heroes. Some heroes are Kanwu or Gakhi or very famous character in Japan also. So Bukyo is such like this. This is a Bukyo's games developed by Chinese. So Bukyo hero is a fly. So no anthem. So they combat very rightly on the sword and the spear. So they traveling the world. So some mission. So there are so many Bukyo setting game in China. So we Japanese know the Bukyo setting a little, but we are not familiar with the Bukyo. The Bukyo setting is a very powerful universe. So maybe Chinese developer make a game of the Bukyo setting for Japanese or for Korea or for other one. Okay. Hi. It's next Chinese indie game. So for example, so Aishi is a very popular in Japan. It is the future. Oh. Sorry. So they feature anime styles, slashing games, and they use famous Japanese voice actor. So this game looks like a slash combo action game, but something like twist. This game is something like metafiction element. So such like Stanley Parable. So player, so don't move. Narrator is please move. So don't go left. Please head to right. It's a very funny. Okay, next one is a Muse Dash. It's developed by Pero Games. Maybe this is a one-man developer. So it's basically a rhythm game. Rhythm game and the platformer mashup. So you can rhythmic tap the screen and jump the platform. So art style is typical anime style, and the music is a very popular composer in Japan. The vocal is something like a Vocaloid Hatsune Miku or something like this Vocaloid. So now it is available on smartphone, mobile game, but it will be in Switch or Steam. Okay, last one, the Braided Fury. It is indie game focused on slash action. So, and it has the theme of Chinese mythology. So very old Chinese or historical, maybe of fantasy. So art style is anime and Chinese style mixture. So character is a Chinese famous hero and the heroine. So very good game, this one. Maybe this game is inspired by Japanese platform or slash games. Oboro Muramasa is a Platina game. No, Platina, not Platina game. It's なんだっけ。So make traditional Chinese and make. Okay, last one, so Taiwan Shin. So Taiwan is a unique region in East Asia. Taiwan is 14th in the world market. It's a very small market, but very important and interesting region. So I think. Most of them are ethnically the same as China, but with different history and complex relation with China government. This background have no small effect on the indie game scene. Console gamers are also niche. PC and mobile dominate the market. But Taiwan people are more familiar with PC gaming than mainland China. So China people play the console games by pirates version. So console games are niche, but Taiwan people like a Japanese console game. So they like Japanese contents, anime or games, something like idol or Japanese music scene. So because of their affinity to Japanese culture. So, and some Taiwanese works for Japanese video game company. For Japanese, Taiwan is the nearest country in East Asia, so culturally and geographically. Rayak is a very famous company in Taiwan, so commercially successful indie developer. So they focus on some rhythm game, at first. So, but indie scene is still young, so it is a very interesting thing. The Taiwanese indie developer deal with the subject of their history and national identity. So modern history of Taiwan. So it is not only video game, but also movie or other popular culture. They and the young people of Taiwan, so very interesting in their own history of modern era. So when Japan occupies Taiwan, so and Japan defeats World War II, so and Taiwan liberates to the country. So they very something like a nostalgic stance for their history. Taiwanese are developing their national identity from 80s when it is the end of the martial law. This national identity has no small effect on their pop culture, so, but it is conflict with mainland China at the same time. So recently, the famous art developer Red Candle's indie game Devotion get in trouble. So this is Red Candle's Devotion trailer. This is a China publisher, but they are a Taiwan developer. Very conflict. So Devotion is a horror game, so very realistic 3D works, a very rich taste of Asia culture. So maybe if you travel to Taiwan, so very good games. So very small setting, but the very big real experiments of Taiwan's 80s life, and very horror taste.
你想清楚了哦。那我们现在就去慈湖观音面前发愿。
So this game is very big successful. It's 1 or 2 days after the release, but some players found very political sensitive message. It's something like Easter egg. So Chinese users got angry and the review bombs with Steam page, and the Chinese publisher killed the contract with them. So and their games removed from the Steam. So now you can buy it. So maybe they said they refreshed the game and something quality assurance and get back the uploads on Steam again. So, but I don't know when. So this game is focused on Taiwan culture, Taiwan religion, and Taiwan history. So very sensitive conflict with Chinese. So it is interesting, but difficult point by Taiwanese indie developer. So next one, it's a Citus 2. It's a React game. So React is a very famous developer in Taiwan. So they focus on rhythm game. So most successful Taiwan indie companies focus on rhythm games. So they focus on some storytelling, narrative things. So Citus 2 is basically rhythm game, but it's something like a Fuse OS. So under virtual SNS. So you can find the SNS on the game. So you find the track and clear the tracks. You can find the next message and the virtual musician. So on the game. So very interesting presentation. So last one is a Rainy Pots Kurong. It's something visual novels, very traditional visual novel and historical theme, the of Taiwan. So Taiwan indie make visual novels. It's very inspired by Japanese developer or Japanese visual novel scene. Oops. So internet is slowly. Okay. So please, so yourself Google, so YouTube. Okay. Last thing. So difference and the similarities. It's a conclusion. As last, I show the difference and similarity between Japanese indie game scene and other East Asia countries. So in general, market point of view, East Asia is the biggest market. It is a real big. So, but consoles dominate in Japan. In other region, PC gaming is bigger. So Japan is a unique country in East Asia. Japan is something like console paradise. We have the Nintendo or PlayStation, Sega, and so many consoles company and console scene, console maker. So, but other Korea, China, Taiwan is mostly PC and mobile. So PC mobile is dominates video gaming market. So furthermore, China is a very interesting country. So China government excludes new game from their market. It is a very unstable market, big market, but unstable. So people like game. So Japanese gamers like RPG like something like a game. So Korea, China, Taiwan is very focused on something like a PC or mobile game. So as a result, they like MMORPG or MOBA or something TBS and FPS. So recently, Battle Royale is a very big popular genre. So But Taiwan gamer is like a Japanese game, something like a RPG or some action game. So as a result, the video game market in Asia is some fragmented. So Japan is a very unique. So China is a politically unique. So Korea and Taiwan is some smaller other country. So if you want to make good sales in East Asian market, you should deal with each religion. So different religion. So you can sell your game around East Asia through only Steam, but if you release on PlayStation or Xbox, yeah, it's on mobile game, Google Play or App Store. So very different style of promotion or publish. So it's very complex. So Steam is now a very simple one. Similarities in taste. The video game market in East Asia is fragmented, but many East Asian people have same taste in video game. So first, we like anime style. Yeah, we like anime style. So Chinese and Korean and Taiwan, so same. So we like anime or anime styles, 2D or not 2D, not 3D, whether 2D or 3D. So it inspired Japanese manga or anime, Japanese culture. So it is common taste in East Asia. So second, we like voice actors. Voice actors is Japanese anime tradition. Japanese anime voice actors are very famous East Asia. So some games features Japanese voice actor, even if they didn't release in Japan, only China, but Japanese voice. Something crazy? But so Chinese people like Japanese voice actor. So they can't understand Japanese words, also Japanese language, but they like the Japanese voice actor. And now non-Japanese voice actors are very growing up. Chinese anime voice actor or Korean's anime style voice actor is very growing up. So third thing, so we share some mythology such like Romance of Three Kingdoms. So we know Ganwu or Rubu, so something like a hero, the Romance of Three Kingdoms. So in Japan, very famous publisher and developer Koei Tecmo Games. Koei Tecmo Games publish or develops something slash action or simulation games or have a theme of have a setting of the Romance of Three Kingdoms. So we Japanese gamer know the hero of Romance of Three Kingdoms, and we can make the game with this hero. So and also, so Korea and Taiwan gamers know about this, well known. And Bugyo is not popular in Japan now, but this genre have possibility of getting popular. Fourth, we have a similar music culture in video game. Rhythm game is a relatively niche genre, but they are popular in East Asia. Japanese play rhythm game in arcade game center, so we like this in arcade. So young people like a very rhythm game. So so other East Asians plays it arcade or mobile. So rhythm game is very popular in Asia scene. So and on the whole, on the other hand, Western rhythm game features licensed songs like Just Dance or Guitar Hero. So famous artists, famous band. So you can play something like so Lady Gaga or something like Michael Jackson. But so Japanese or Asia rhythm game is on original songs. So for game, so composer make their song for rhythm game. So it's a very typical genre. Is something like a hardcore techno or EDM, something like a Vocaloid style song. So it's a very famous one. So Japanese music scene is now so very famous, very popular. So idol song is very popular. So it is same as rhythm game. So as a result, some composers specialize in rhythm games. Okay, last conclusion. So we Azure have a different game history and culture and market. It is influenced by politics and economy strongly. But we have similar tastes of gaming under like similar genre. So the taste in video games are easy to become widespread. So Chinese governments removes the games their market, but so now the taste of very become widespread. So in internet. So, but the different business scheme of political issue is a fragmented market. So it is difficult to sell for Asian market. So it's a reason. Okay, it's all. Thank you.